to determine if expenses you incur as a self-employed business owner are deductible for an activity that you consider a business, but the IRS might say it's a hobby. So what are the hobby versus business factors? Whether it's the startup of your dreams, it's a side gig to which you devote all of your spare time, or your main moneymaker, if you've taken a big loss in your endeavor, while deducting your expenses as that of a business, there comes a time when the IRS will question whether you're running a business or you simply have a hobby. I recently had to let a client know that due to her claiming losses for 3 years in a row, the IRS will determine that her business is a hobby instead of one meant for profit. But there are actually 9 factors that the IRS uses, not just if you're profitable or not. Let's take a look at these. The first one is the manner in which the taxpayer carries on the activity. So the first thing a tax court will look for is proof that you are conducting your endeavor like a business, which can often mean anything from keeping accurate bookkeeping and records to maintaining business-like policies and separating business and personal accounts. Do you have a business license? Are you advertising to bring in new customers? Are you working to gain knowledge through attending webinars or conferences? It's important that it looks like your intention is to carry on a business for this factor to go in your favor. Number 2, the expertise of the taxpayer or his advisors. Over time, you should be improving your skill in your industry. The IRS also looks to see if you have spent any effort to continuously learn about your trade, especially when relating to market research and how to make your endeavor more profitable. Are you reading trade journals, attending industry-specific trainings? Be sure that you're doing what you can to improve what you have to offer your clients. It's also important to have advisors you can turn to for assistance and support to help you understand what you can do to improve the likelihood of success. If you don't have resources at your disposal, you risk the IRS deeming your activity a hobby. Number 3, the time and effort expended by the taxpayer in carrying on the activity. So in the case of a hobby, it's usually only pursued when convenient or fun to do, which is exactly why the amount of time and effort spent working throughout the week is a great tell whether the endeavor is a business or not. All of us who've been in business know there are times it's not enjoyable to run a business, whether it's due to working more hours than we like, dealing with customer issues, managing human resources if employing a staff, or other stressful situations. We must work even when it's not enjoyable to keep the company running. Number 4, the expectation that the assets used in the activity may appreciate in value. So put simply, is it possible for you to make a continuous profit given time through the activity or not? If there's little likelihood that you can make what you have into something greater, bringing in greater revenue and profit, the IRS will most likely consider it a hobby. Number 5, the success of the taxpayer in carrying on similar or dissimilar activities. Tax courts may also look at your success with business endeavors in the past, namely whether or not you were able to make a profit or if you failed eventually. Many entrepreneurs begin with one business and change their focus down the line. But if you operated a successful company in the past, it is assumed you will have a good chance of doing so again. Number 6, the taxpayer's history of income or losses with respect to the activity. Past endeavors are fine, but what about the one in question now? Have you managed to make a profit within the time that's to be expected? Is that profit predicted to increase slowly with more time? If you're starting up a new endeavor, it's expected you may have losses, but does it appear you will be able to become profitable within a reasonable amount of time? That's the question the IRS will be asking. Number 7, the amount of occasional profits. Bottom line, if as a business you're defining yourself with an endeavor to have the intention of earning a profit, then that's what they're going to be looking for. So if the number of profitable years are slim or inconsistent, then it's likely a hobby. The IRS wants to see profit in 3 of the last 5 years. They don't have to be consecutive years of profit, but you must still be profitable more years than not. Number 8, the financial status of the taxpayer. If you are offsetting losses through another income source, as the endeavor is neither earning a strong profit or taking up a majority of the taxpayer's time, you're busy doing other things, then this can be a red flag. If you spend limited time working to make your activity profitable, especially because you have another job or you invest personal funds into the business to keep it operating, the IRS will most likely consider you are doing it for fun and not for financial support. And finally, does the activity lack elements of personal pleasure or recreation? While no one ever said you can't love your job, it's still work. So if the endeavor is seen as too fun, a tax court may wonder if it's more of a recreational hobby. Either way you look at it, a business is meant to earn you income, so it makes sense that the IRS would suspect if you're spending time and money on something that's not earning you a return. So in summary, you won't know until after you've operated your business and filed your expense deductions whether the IRS is going to question if your activity is truly a business or a hobby. But as miscellaneous expense deductions, commonly used for hobby taxes, are no longer allowed, make sure you don't miss out on important tax deductions by keeping in-depth records of your business endeavors while proving the success that you strive for. If the IRS ever questions the deductibility of your expenses, the more support you have to show you operated it as a business, the better.